Hi friends, I hope this long break hasn't made you lose interest in the project, because today I have some great news for you. I've finally finished working on the Dwarfs and I'm excited to show you the results. My name is Wolchy and welcome to my devlog. In my previous video I announced the alpha testing. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to gather enough participants to collect statistics, but those who joined played the game, found several bugs and shared their ideas about what they'd like the game to become. One thing became immediately clear. Everyone agreed that they'd rather see proper board game pieces, something more like chess pieces than fully animated characters. At first, I was a little disappointed. My original idea was to create a whole miniature army of animated figures moving around the board. But after thinking about everyone's arguments, I realized they were right. Going in that direction would have taken away the warm, cozy feeling that makes board games so special. In the end, my goal has always been to create a beautiful digital board game, not an action game inspired by Thud. So I sketched out a few quick concepts and started the work. The first step was sculpting the miniature. I wanted it to look as if it had been carefully carved from wood and hand-painted by skilled craftsmen. Once the sculpt was finished, I noticed that the front of the figure was overloaded with details, while the back looked rather plain. To balance the silhouette, I added a small travel bag, perfect for carrying a couple of sandwiches and a few portions. Next came optimization and hand-painted textures. The result turned out even better than I'd hoped. Even on its own, outside the game, the dwarf has a warm, cozy charm that I really like. With the miniature finished, it was time to bring it into the game. As you may remember, the old placeholder dwarfs were nothing more than cubes. They had no animation, they simply teleported from one cell to another, doing little more than simulating the movement of game pieces. This meant I had to build every animation from scratch. As soon as I placed the new figures on the board, I noticed something looked off. Every dwarf was facing exactly the same direction. That simply wouldn't do, they should be looking towards the trolls. To solve this, I chose the Thud stone as the focal point of the composition and made every dwarf face toward it. It turned out to be a simple solution that worked well. With that done, I started to move with the movement animations. I wanted dwarfs and trolls to feel fundamentally different, not just visually, but physically. The dwarfs should feel light, quick and nimble, while the trolls should appear heavy, slow and powerful. For the dwarfs, I came up with a small hopping animation whenever they move. It gives the impression that you're physically picking up a game piece and placing it onto another cell. It turned out to be exactly the tactile feeling I was aiming for. I also created the basic movement for the trolls. Instead of hopping, they slowly crawl from one cell to another, but when they attack, they perform the heavy leap that shakes the camera. Once that was working, I returned to polishing the dwarfs. I searched through Pixabay sound library and found some fitting sound effects for their footsteps and turns. With those in place, it was finally time to work on the attack animation. According to the original rules of Thud, dwarfs attack by forming a line and pushing the front dwarf directly into a troll. That meant I needed every dwarf involved in the attack to turn towards the target and somehow convey the feeling of pushing. Technically, there is only so much a chess piece can do to express that kind of action, but I think I managed to make it work. To make the moment feel even more alive, I finished the sequence by giving the attacking dwarfs a short battle cry. The biggest challenge, however, turned out to be the dwarf's death animation. By default, my game pieces don't use any physics, so they can't collide with either the board or other ones. But I really wanted the troll's attack to feel destructive. After a troll lands on a cell, I wanted the pieces to fall and roll across the board. Rather than redesigning the entire game architecture, I came up with a different solution. Whenever a dwarf is knocked off the board, the game dynamically spawns a separate physics object that takes its place. This temporary object is responsible for all the collisions, allowing the miniature to topple over, bounce, and roll naturally across the board. Once that was working, all that remained was adding impact sound effect to bring the scene to life. If you're interested in the technical side of the implementation, I've written about it in much detail on my Coffee devlog. You can find the link in the description. And with that, the dwarfs are finally complete. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps and means a lot of me. Thank you all, and we'll see you again very soon.